Hi, this is Andy from the ADHD Minimalist, and last week I did a video which was basically a declutter with me video, and I went through a lot of things in my bathroom. And so what I realized was that there were a couple really important takeaways from this declutter, and I learned some things because I've honestly never thought about decluttering the bathroom using some of these specific techniques. And one thing was that I took everything out of one of my cupboards and I took it upstairs and sorted it into bags. And so whatever I wasn't sure about, and even stuff that I thought I was pretty sure about, I just let it sit upstairs in the living room for a few days. And so every time I needed something, I had to run and get it. So I left the toothbrush and some hair products and a few things in the bathroom, but very, very few things. And then I would just run up and get whatever I needed and bring it back downstairs and find a place for it in the cupboard when I knew that I was going to use it. So that helped me get rid of a lot of stuff that I was kind of on the fence about. And I even threw away some face cream and a few things that once I tried it on my face and I realized it smelled like it was old. And so I didn't notice that when I just opened the lid and tried to smell it. I kind of had to get it out of the bottle and start using it. And I was kind of like, ugh, I think this year-old sunscreen, face cream, whatever it was ready to hit the bin. So I just wanted to go back in the bathroom and show you what I did and what some of my takeaways were from cleaning the bathroom and decluttering it. And I feel like I did a better job in there than I have for the last, I've decluttered in there several times. The first time it was a kind of a huge project, but the last few times it's more just maintaining things so that doesn't completely get out of control. Because let's face it, we all buy products that we think we're going to use that we don't use. And sometimes we just need to give ourselves permission to throw away products that are half used. So sometimes I'll ask my nieces or someone if they want a product, if it was expensive and I find out it doesn't work for my hair type or it doesn't work for my skin type or whatever. And maybe I'll ask somebody else if they want to try it, and then they can try it, and if they don't like it, they can throw it away. But sometimes I don't really feel good about asking other people to try used stuff if it's just regular generic stuff from the grocery store. And so then sometimes I just need to give myself permission to throw it out, because if I'm not going to use it, my family's not going to use it, and it's too embarrassing to give away, and it's taking up space in giving me a headache because I have clutter to look at and it's collecting dust, so I have to clean it and move it, then I think I just need to give myself permission to free some space in our bathroom, but also like space in my mind, because I don't have to look at it or it doesn't have to eat up my time anymore. So give yourself permission to toss things that you're not using, especially in the bathroom, because we all want to get our money's worth out of stuff and we all think we're going to use stuff, but let's face it, we just don't. So it's okay to give yourself permission to get rid of stuff if you're not going to use it. And before we go over and look at the bathroom, just a quick reminder, my book, Help My Room Exploded, it's really a guide for parents to help kids get their rooms decluttered and under control and organized. And my kids have ADHD, so I'm sort of going from a perspective of children who have difficulties with concentration or maybe some kind of special needs, but it could also just be that they have sensory issues, they're easily overwhelmed. But any kids that would fall into those categories, this would be the perfect book for you if you're looking for a way to get their rooms under control. But it can also be a way just to declutter your house. You can definitely use the methods that I talk about in this book for decluttering your entire home. It doesn't necessarily have to be a child's room. And I do have some funny stories in here, and I talk a lot about how when my son came to me and he said that having fewer things in his room made him feel his ADHD symptoms less. So then he asked me if I could declutter the rest of the house, and I was like, well, that's great, that you're feeling better. But it took me a while to get, like, I didn't say, no, I'm not going to declutter the house, but it was a real struggle, because I think maybe because I grew up with, I had too many things in my room, honestly, when I grew up, but it was because we didn't have a ton of money, my family, and so I felt like I had to save everything, and so I kept way too many things, and so that kind of just carried over into adulthood, and I was keeping all of these things that I didn't really need, and I was keeping it because I was afraid that the worst case scenario was going to happen and I was going to need this stuff. But it was honestly just making my everyday life, like trying to clean things and keep the house looking decent, it was causing a problem. And so finally I had to like kind of work on my own issues and figure out like, why is this such a big deal for me that I can't get rid of this stuff? Because it's, let's face it, it's just stuff. And the most important things in our lives are usually not things. They're maybe our spouse or our children or our extended family or our friends, or sometimes maybe if you live by yourself, it's your dog, but it's usually not stuff. So let's face it, it's really not that important, all of this stuff. It's what's important is maybe like working on ourselves so that we can realize what the problem is, why we can't get rid of stuff, and that taking care of that root issue so that we can later get rid of stuff so that our lives are simpler and easier and cleaner and we can find our keys and those sort of things. Just like making everyday life on an everyday Tuesday work better for us because we don't have loads of things in our house that are getting in our way. And so honestly, like, you can get a copy of this and you'll read a lot about like the struggles that I had trying to declutter a home. And even when I had a huge motivation, because I realized that this is going to help my son and I was really motivated, but I struggled so much. My goodness, struggled and struggled and struggled. And it took me quite a while to get through everything. And then I had all these other buildings on our farm that needed to get decluttered. So my goodness, I had a struggle, but I feel like finally, after you've done it for a while and you've been decluttering for a while, then things are a lot easier. So now we went through some wedding gifts that we needed to finally make decisions about. Are we going to keep it or not? And we got rid of quite a few. There's actually a whole video about that. You can go watch that too. And you can go watch the video where I actually go through the stuff in the bathroom as well. And I have one about maintenance, decluttering as maintenance for the kitchen too. So go watch those. But where was I getting at now? Oh, but I had to go through all of this stuff in like other buildings too, that it wasn't even stuff that we bought. It was stuff that was left here by owners and stuff that was here for probably 100 years, honestly, because this farm was built in the 1700s. 1790 is when the farmer bought the land to start building the house. So lots and lots and lots of stuff that was here, and lots and lots and lots of trailers full of junk we had to drive to the recycling center. So that was kind of its own insane can of worms. But I first had to go through the stuff that I was keeping because of my own reasons before I actually even started tackling that stuff that was just sitting out in the farm. It was just sort of like a natural extension of like tackling the house, because I didn't want, if the kids want to take over, it's not a working farm, but it's like, it was a farm at one point. Now there's actually a forest, so there isn't really anything here that you could actually farm with a tractor right now. But I was thinking, like, if my kids wanted to buy this from us in the future, or I mean, it's big enough that we could actually maybe make some different lots out of it if there's 2 houses on the property too. So I mean, we could split it up between 2 children as well, but I don't want them to have to go through all this junk. So in a way, that's sort of a thought that comes from maybe the Swedish death cleaning method, that you don't want to leave stuff behind for your kids to take care of, but also you don't want to leave things behind that are going to embarrass you or cause basically anybody that would have to go through your stuff problems. So we went ahead and got rid of a lot of stuff, and probably still need to go through some things in one of the storage rooms because that kind of just keeps changing. I got rid of a whole bunch of stuff and now it's filling up again. So let's face it, we all need to declutter as maintenance sometimes to get rid of things, and your needs change. Like, we don't need baby buggies and stuff anymore because our kids are getting a little bit older. The youngest is soon going to be 10 and the oldest is 17, but you get other stuff like lots of sports equipment that maybe we need to go through because the kids started growing out of it, like skis and snowboards and all of the boots and stuff. Let's face it, lots of these sports, they have a whole bunch of things that come with that sport. And so it's always good to go through things like once a year when the season ends and just make sure that you're not keeping a bunch of stuff that you're not going to need the next year. It's the same as like now we're in the season where my kids want to get out bikes and my son wants to go downhill mountain biking and stuff, and started looking through protective gear for that and different things, and just making sure that we have what we need, but also making sure we're not keeping things that we don't want. Okay, long story short, if you're in the middle of a big declutter or about to start one, go ahead and get rid I'm about to say the wrong thing. I'm about to say get rid of my book, but you know what, if you read it and you don't have a need to keep it after you're done decluttering, please give it away to somebody else. But if you need help decluttering and you want to read some personal stories about my struggles, or how my son found out helped his ADHD, or how we found it was easiest for us to declutter with our kids, and some of those things, then go ahead and pick up my book. The ebook is on sale, and I'm gonna try to keep it on sale as long as possible because I want you guys to be able to get it no matter what your budget. So we're gonna go over and look at the bathroom now so you can see what I did after the huge declutter last week. And just one more quick thing I wanted to add. I'm putting the link to where you can find the book in the description, so you can go check that out. You can also find a link to my website, theadhdminimalist.com. And please like and subscribe. It would help me a lot if you would like videos, if you find them helpful. So go ahead and do that, a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the bathroom. Okay, my daughter came home and actually offered to help me clean the bathroom, so I'm not going to say no to that. So it went pretty quick. I mean, I haven't scrubbed the shower for lime scale or anything this time, but we have hard water, so I have to do that sometimes. But honestly, this poor bathroom's about on its last leg. We have the water boiler in there, and it was leaking and stuff, so we had to just open up the wall. But anyway, if you kind of look away from that stuff, this is sort of what we came up with. There's the shower and the sink. I still have stuff upstairs I'm going to sort this evening. All of those products that I wasn't sure if I was going to use. So I have my 2 different laundry things. I do have some stuff for whites on top of the washer because I don't use it very often. And then, I don't know, for now I just put these containers back. And then I know I'm going to keep the hair products. That's my toothbrush and my husband's. And then, like, I figured that the toothpaste went well in that container, and I am gonna have to put a few things up there because this bathroom is small, and I've gotten rid of a piece of furniture in here that was storing a bunch of stuff. So I cleaned this out. I know I didn't do this on the film, but I didn't throw much away from here. I think maybe something was already empty and some things didn't belong here, but then we ended up with this. And these little things, travel things, my daughter takes them to school for when she needs to wash her hair after gym. And they don't have gym class every day here, so she maybe only needs that twice a week. But anyway, otherwise sometimes we don't get stuff like that from hotels or travel things used up. But it's a good way to use them and keep her from taking too much space in her bag with all of the shampoo and things. And here you see above the washer and dryer, I have some like special laundry stuff for wool, and some stuff for whites, I think. And then maybe one thing was for washing the kids' winter clothes if they were coated with special stuff. And then of course some balls and some dryer sheets, which I guess dryer sheets aren't always necessary. I only use them if I have to, but so I bought a box that's lasted for years, like 3 years, and I'm not finished with it. But that's what's up there. And like a hair dryer and a curling iron that we use every once in a while, and some things that my husband uses, like a thing to shave his hair off his head, that kind of thing, a razor. And then we have, I'm about to start the wash, but I didn't start it because it makes a lot of noise. And when I got that full, I could actually get all of the rest of the wash in the basket, although it's kind of still overflowing, so I'm gonna have to do some more wash. But I got these baskets organized, so maybe you can kind of see what I'm talking about now. So it comes out of... Hej gumman! Ja, jag ska ju det alldeles strax. Jag ska filma lite och så ska jag hämta saker. My daughter's organizing her room and she wants some boxes and things for there, and I told her I would go out. Anyway, I need some boxes too because I didn't know what to do with all of the... There's another toothbrush. Well, we need some jars to put the toothbrushes in, but all of the new toothbrushes are out of the containers or the plastic that they came in, and so I need to find some kind of a sealed container to put those in that actually fits somewhere, because the one I have it in was a little bit too big. But but anyway, so the wash goes into the washer and the dryer, and then I take it out of the dryer and I try to like roll the towels right away so that they look like this, and then those are the hand towels, and the rest of the hand towels are up there. Although I do have several hand towels in the wash too, I think. We go through those pretty quick. Honestly, in Sweden, they would have a name for every person, and they would each have their own towel, and one would say guests. But I'm from America, and so, I don't know, I just kind of gave up on that plan. It's really smart if you have corona or something, but when there's not a lot of virus going around, I just use one. I change it all the time, so it might sometimes only go like one day if we're all home, and then I'll change it, so that gets changed a lot. But, and then the socks go up there, and I don't match them right away, I'll just match them later. And then anything else that I don't have time to sort into those boxes goes into that one. So that's about it. And then these over here, all of those, that's everybody's personal responsibility to sort it and take it to their room. So I don't have to do that. Unless, of course, it's like my one daughter, I have to tell her and sometimes help her. But everybody else in the family pretty much just takes care of their own thing. And that's my mishmash, they're mixed socks that don't have any matches or gloves or whatever is up there. So I just, honestly, if I find stuff that goes into any of these boxes, I just throw them in there and then I sort it later if I'm really busy, or the best thing is when I can just take it out of the washer and just roll it and sort it right away. And so then most of the time it looks like this, except I probably have socks up there because I don't sort those right away, but I just did that recently. So anyway, that is about it. Mama. And I'm gonna go see if I can find something to put the toothbrushes in. Have a great day. Don't forget to check out my blog, theadhdminimalist.com, and look at my book, Help My Roommates Put It on Amazon. And you can even follow us on Pinterest or Instagram. Have a great day. Bye.